Is strategy a Ponzi scheme? Some softer critics like Checkmate and Andy Constant call Bitcoin Treasury companies like Strategy Ponzi adjacent. And the logic is simple. Issue debt and equity, buy Bitcoin, Bitcoin goes up, raise more money, rinse, lather, repeat. Matt Cole, CEO of Bitcoin Treasury company Strive, laid out his view on the noise in the market on the latest episode of the Hurdle Rate podcast, which I think captures it perfectly.
This strikes me a lot as short-term thinking in a similar way that if every time a Bitcoin Treasury company traded at 1.1 or 1.2 times MNAV, there was this push to just issue common equity as fast as possible because you're trading above 1 MNAV. That to me is pretty much the equivalent of buyback shares because you're trading at a 0.9 MNAV or something like that. It's short-termism. I think as an equity holder, as senior management, executive management of one of these Bitcoin Treasury companies, you need to be thinking over the long run. And what is the long run? Well, in my view, we have a 10 to 15 year period of a digital gold rush. And in a digital gold rush, you want to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible during that time period. And so if you're thinking in terms of a quarter, which typically in standard markets, you see executives get hammered when they think about just one quarter. They want people to be thinking in years. But in this space, because of the volatility, there are a subset of investors, and I don't think it's the majority of investors to be clear, but a subset of investors that do think more in the short term. Option traders, people that put very short-term trades on, that are betting on the direction, the size, and the time in a very short period of time. They need something to happen, and they need something to happen now. Well, if you think about how an intelligent Bitcoin Treasury company is designed, you're putting on an intelligent leverage. If you think about these perpetual preferred equity instruments, you never have to pay back the capital. It's a perpetual instrument. You're betting on a long-term thesis. And so you don't unwind a long-term thesis because you've seen 1 month seems to be traded at a discount. If you saw it, to Ben's point, if you saw it to go a super deep discount that was persisting for time, well, that might be an interesting opportunity to consider buying back some shares in a way that's really accretive, but it's okay at times to wait. Like that waiting for a little bit is not a bad scenario. And I think this also gets back to me of there's a lot of, I would say, angst just in the broader Bitcoin ecosystem, even beyond just Bitcoin Treasury